Well, Borodale St Andrews, good morning. And how awful is it having a Monday morning assembly on a Wednesday? My Vleen de Vie. I am really sorry. However, it's actually not as bad a thing as I thought, because this week for Reach, you've been talking with your teachers about growth mindset and persevering and sticking at things and trying your best. So I honestly thought the butterflies would be ready to release on Sunday so I could record an assembly for you. And they weren't. Who knew? Butterflies have a real struggle coming out of their chrysalis and emerging as beautiful butterflies. So I'm going to tell you more about that. If I share my screen with you and show you a little PowerPoint that I've made for our assembly. So today we're talking about butterflies and growth mindset. And I want you to keep in your mind two questions. What can you do now that you found difficult earlier in the year? So think all the way back to September when you were starting in a new class. What couldn't you do then, or what did you find tricky that you're really good at now? And what have you learned whilst being at home? That's a good question, because I know you've been learning lots. Do you know this week in Reach and Assembly, we're talking about growth mindset. We learned a lot about growth mindset back in the autumn term, just before Christmas, about November and December time. So I'm going to remind you what having a growth mindset means. I have a growth mindset. I'm in charge of how smart I am because I can grow my brain. I've a muscle. By learning hard things, I can achieve anything with effort and the right strategies. And when I fail or make a mistake, it's a great thing because I can learn from them and I can get better. And we need to keep that in mind at all times. So remember, at St Andrews, we are the best pupils. We're the best school, not just in Newport, but in the whole of Wales. And we know that we always reach for those stars, because staying focused on your dreams and aspirations is a really powerful tool to being the best you can be and accomplishing those goals. Do you know what? That's what a butterfly does when it changes. And I love beautiful butterflies, but sometimes we forget how tricky those changes were that it went through to become that beautiful. It's not always easy. So I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to show you the video. Martha, my daughter, made the video of our butterflies. They arrived on about the 10th of May. So they've taken a good month for the life cycle to happen. They would have been laid as eggs by another butterfly. Those eggs hatched into tiny caterpillars, and they arrived at Mrs. Giles' house when they were very tiny caterpillars. And they munched, and they munched, and they munched, just like the hungry caterpillar does in the story, until they grew into quite big caterpillars. And at that point, they started to spin a silk cocoon, and they turned into the chrysalis. And I thought, oh, any minute now, we'll get butterflies. But oh no, it took about 14 days for the beautiful butterflies to actually emerge from the chrysalis and be strong enough to fly. The type of caterpillars that I had at home that became butterflies was something called painted ladies. There's a picture on the screen of a painted lady butterfly. And before I show you the video, I thought you might like a Mrs. Giles challenge over the next few days. I wonder if you can find me a fact about a painted lady butterfly. I've got one for you. My fact is that a painted lady butterfly is capable of reaching speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Do you know that's as fast as cars go on roads around Newport? I wonder if you can find a fact for me. Either tweet at Mrs. Jo Giles or send your fact to your teacher on Seesaw and they will send them to me. Okay, I'm going to show you the butterfly.
I'm a caterpillar crawling upon a leaf, a caterpillar looking for something to eat. I munch all day, got no time to play. I'm gonna be a butterfly one day. Now it's getting close, in a cocoon I lay. I'll grow some wings and fly away. It's a happy time, I can fly so high. Hey, look at me, I'm a butterfly.
Well, how amazing were those butterflies? You know that was a really quick video. It was only 40 seconds because it was all put together and just tiny clips. Those butterflies took a whole month to become butterflies from caterpillars. They persevered, they stuck at it, and they tried their best. We often look at struggle and change as a negative thing that we should avoid. But sometimes those very struggles develop us into the person we're supposed to become. When a butterfly tries to come out of its cocoon, it can take a long time. And you can't help the butterfly. It has to go through it on its own, because that struggle to emerge helps the butterfly grow. It pumps fluid through its body and into its wings to help its wings grow strong and be ready to fly. If the butterfly came out of its cocoon too soon, its wings wouldn't be properly formed and it wouldn't be able to fly. And that's just like us in school. Sometimes we have to struggle to be able to fly, just like the beautiful butterflies. And do you know what? Think about this. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. That made me think of what we're going through at the moment. We think St. Andrews and school was over and we wouldn't be back before the summer holidays. But wow, we're all going to become beautiful butterflies and have the chance to say hello to our teachers again very soon. And that's special because we're going to be able to see our friends, see our teachers, and friendship is so important. Got a little poem for you about friendship. On the wings of a butterfly, your friendship is special, like the flowers that bloom, or when a butterfly emerges from within its cocoon. You, yes you, remind me of that butterfly, loving and free, bright and colourful for the world to see. We will share sunshine and rainbows, sometimes the rain and the snow. We'll stand together through it while the cold winds blow. When the time is right, we won't stop to ask why. Our friendship will take flight on the wings of a butterfly. Well, I want you to reflect on what you've heard this morning, St. Andrews. Think about the life cycle of the butterfly. Do you know what? When I thought about the life cycle and I watched the little video clip, it inspired me to think differently about the challenges and the struggles that I faced by being at home since March and by having St. Andrews Primary School closed. It hasn't been an easy time for me at all, or for any of the teachers or members of staff at St. Andrews. It probably hasn't been easy for your mums and dads, or for any of you either. Just remember, if you try your best, learn from your mistakes, and allow yourself to feel challenged, then when we soon come back to school, I know that you will all be able to grow and fly. Perhaps our butterflies are proof that we can go through a time of darkness like coronavirus, yet we will all become something beautiful. I'll see you on Friday for our celebration assembly. Remember to look for those facts about butterflies and send them to me. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.